view, all in the queue. All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view, all in the queue. Be in the know, just come watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's hella to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. So be in the know, just come watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's hella to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Be in the know, just come watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's hella to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. So be in the know, just come watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's hella to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. Be in the know, just come watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's hella to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. So be in the know, just come watch the show to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's hella to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's hella to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue.
Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, family? How are you all feeling tonight? It is Wednesday night. It is hump day. If you're here and you're in the comments, please make sure that you subscribe, like, and share this video with all of your friends. We are going to have a great conversation today. We are going to be doing a recap of the meeting, of course. And as I told you all, hello, Miss Roberts. How you doing, Lady Roberts? How you doing, Lady Morton? How are you guys tonight? We are going to do a recap of the meeting yesterday, which was explosive by itself. But we have a special guest with us tonight. We're going to talk with the guest first, and she's going to be here to recap with us through the meeting. And I'm excited because this person, I feel like we need to give her flowers as well. And she is a big hometown hero to me. I'm a resident of Illinois. I'm so proud of her. I look up to her because she spoke up. She's been one of the ones that was very vocal at the beginning of all of this. She was boots on the ground, and that's our own Stephanie WIEDEMAN. Some of you all know that she works at the Dalton Park District, but she has been a resident of the township for a while. We'll bring her up in just a few seconds and let her tell you how long. We're going to ask her a few questions. We're going to chit chat with her, get to know her a little bit before we start our recap. We're definitely not going to be here too long because it's late. You all have to work tomorrow. Winky Wonder, thank you. So have I. I've been working hard on this recap all day today. Just getting some of the numbers so I can show you guys on the screen some things. Good evening to you all that are just entering the chat or just looking at the video. Even if you're looking from the outside of the video, good evening to you and thank you for looking. If you would, please hit the like button, subscribe, turn your notifications on so that you'll know every time that I go live. You saw the debate between me and Miss Burns. Javar, me and Shawan, we go back, okay, like flapjacks. We are fine. One thing about me is I'm never upset with anyone about their opinion. Your opinion is your opinion, and I definitely can respect it. It doesn't mean you're right. It just means that I can respect that, and you don't have to agree with me to be my friend. We don't have to agree to be friends. We don't have to have the same views on things. That is one way that you learn. That is one way that you grow as a person, is that you should have people in your circle that not only check you, but also challenge you. And so Shawan Burns is that person for me. She, we check each other. So we definitely have great fun doing it. Oh, Winky Wonder, yeah, these numbers, they're going to blow your mind. There's so many spreadsheets that have already been done. I think Bobby Murr or Ty Wynn, he's done a spreadsheet. Paul also did a spreadsheet today. So we'll look at a few of those spreadsheets along with the stuff that I did collect today. So without further ado, I am going to bring up your hometown hero. I am going to bring up a woman that we would like in this channel to give her flowers today for stepping up and speaking out. She did receive some backlash for doing that. So we definitely here in Illinois, in the township, Thornton Township, and in Dalton, Illinois, want to thank her for her service and thank her for speaking up. I'm going to bring up the lovely Stephanie WIEDEMAN. Hold on, let me get my claps. Let me get my claps. Definitely want to get some claps for this woman. Give me 1 second. Let me find it. Give her some claps. Y'all, I gotta find it. Where are my claps? I thought I brought them all the way up to the front. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Welcome, Stephanie, to the show.
Hello. How are you?
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Oh no, this is my pleasure. Oh man, I am so honored right now and nervous because I definitely am in the presence of greatness. Okay, that's the way I feel about it. I feel like we are being graced with your presence, because you definitely have been in this fight for a while and since the beginning, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I appreciate your kind words.
Oh
It's
no, oh
very
no,
sweet of you.
you deserve all of those words. As I told you previously, you deserve all of those words. It takes a lot to stand up, to people, that are in a position of power. So, um, I definitely commend you for that. The first thing I want to talk to you about, because here on this channel, we good girlfriends. That's what we do over here. We talk, we just chop it up for a minute.
Hmm.
So if you would please, let the people know how long you've been a resident of the township.
Since 1980.
Wow, that's a long time. That's
Yeah,
a long time. So you grew up here in Illinois?
yeah, I was born here. I lived in Riverdale. I attended elementary school in Dalton. I moved a couple neighborhoods over high school, and I've been there since.
All right, and so you, of course, you have a family here. You have, family. You married. You
I am not married, but me and my other half have a 23 and an 18-year-old, and
okay?
and we have two grandbabies they're both girls. One is 2 and one is 4 months.
Well, listen, y'all married, far as I'm concerned. Because when you in the mud with somebody like that for a
Yeah,
long time, I mean, you know,
yeah.
yeah, you married. You married. So that's beautiful though. That's beautiful. And why did you decide to settle out in the Southland or out, in the South suburbs? Why did you decide to settle out there?
Um, my whole family is here, and if you're not, we're really close, and it just made sense when my children were small. My mom is an amazing grandmother, and she was, our daycare pretty much.
Right, right, because that's what grandparents do. That's what they're
Yep.
there for.
Yep.
That's great. So now I want to transition to how you got into all of this. So I want you to explain to the people, where did you first start out in the township? How did you first get involved in Thornton Township?
Well, it was the executive director at the time. This was around 2002. Um, I knew her because she lives in the same community that I do. Um, they were running a tax refund program. It was like a tax rebate program, and it was a part-time position. Very entry level, just kind of like clerk work. And I started there, and from there it just kind of went to the next step and then the next step, and there I
And
was before I knew it 20 years later.
so you've held several positions in the township. So you're not a stranger to the processes and the services that the township has offered over the years.
No, not at all. Like I said, I started in that tax refund program and then ran everyone after that. um, I worked in general assistance as a caseworker for quite a few years. um, I then went to finance for a while, and then I moved over to administration.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I just want to let the people know, your level of experience. Because when you get these hood rats out here disrespecting people, really pretending that you don't know what you're talking about, or you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany definitely goes around and makes it seems like people don't know what they're doing or talking about. So I just wanted to give the people a little bit of your history with the township. um Definitely, you know how the township is supposed to run. 20 years gives you a vast amount of experiences of seeing pitfalls and successes, right?
Absolutely.
So we're going to go from that to, um I read, or as I researched, you were at one point Frank Zucarelli's chief of staff.
Yes.
And so
That
we
that took
need to know
place
what
in.
the job entails, because what I want to bring us home into, because we're recapping the meeting from yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Carmen used to be what you were to Frank Zuccarelli,
Mm-hmm.
right? So please let the people know what a person in that position, chief of staff for the supervisor, does, or what their job entails.
Well, for me specifically, I was in partnership with Dr. Weems, who was the director of youth and family services, and he was also the executive director. We oversaw the day-to-day activities. We reported to the supervisor and
Wait, stop right there. You said you reported to the supervisor.
Mhm.
So during the meeting, when Tiffany was looking around asking the trustees, what these department heads gonna do because they ain't got no credit card.
Well, we
Okay.
operated just fine without the credit cards.
Oh, tell the people again a little louder in the back.
As a matter of fact, and if there's anybody from the township in the chat, I'm sure they can chime in on this. There were numerous times that we pressed finance to look into getting department credit cards because it would make things way easier, no doubt. However, we were told that it wasn't a possibility and that we couldn't do it.
And for me, why should you? Why should you do it when the supervisor is the person that you're supposed to be accountable to,
Right.
right? So the supervisor actually should be the person that's overseeing, in this case, the day to day, because the township is about services,
Mm-hmm.
right? So therefore, you should be turning in invoices. You should be asking permission to purchase things, right? Is that right? Is that how
Absolutely.
that works?
Absolutely. And that was his reasoning behind wanting only one card. Because when you need something, you have to get it from me. I know what you're purchasing. I know what it's for. If I'm asked questions, I can answer them. He had the card and he took accountability for that. If somebody had that card and did something wrong, guess who was going to take accountability for that? Not the employee, the supervisor was, because that was his job.
Wow. So it's actually the supervisor's job to be accountable for the finances.
It's an amazing theory, isn't it?
Wow, that's a strange, like, because this person for the last what, 3 years, 2 years, have acted like the supervisor don't have anything to do with the actual finances.
Yeah, well, the supervisor's name is on every check.
What? Well, my lord. Now, why would that be? I mean, I'm just trying to put things in proper perspective.
Mhm.
I'm trying to give the people a definition of what the supervisor should be doing. Somebody wants to know, how many supervisors have you worked under?
Just Supervisor Zucarelli.
Yeah, because he held that position for a long time. Why? Because he was good at it, right?
People loved him.
Okay.
Maybe
I'm
not the politicians.
right.
He was a who, but the residents, the people, they loved him. He had a passion, and it's honestly what kept me at the township for so long, was watching the passion for people.
And
Like
now let's be fair. He didn't know everything and he did make mistakes. He wasn't
1,000%.
perfect,
Yep.
but at the end of the day, he did to the best of his ability for the people.
Yep.
So this person, Tiffany Henyard, that is out there acting like this is something foreign for a supervisor to have a credit card, is acting for the people, right?
Yeah, and the irony in the fact that she has all these derogatory things to say about how he ran things when, you know, they had a relationship. If she had issues, she could have talked to him about it, but she didn't. She called him when she needed something.
Mm, that part. That part right there. She's talking him into the ground now, but when he was alive, she was talking him up because she knew he was helping her.
Yeah, he was. I,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. I mean, that could go so many different ways. We don't have to go none of those ways, but it can. So we're gonna let the people, source out some of these things.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot is being said now that this man is not here. And like you said, she had plenty of opportunity to say something while he was here. And we're gonna talk about one of the things that really made me mad during this meeting. I think I'm gonna show the video a little bit. There's a question that says, does Stephanie know which bank the surplus Frank left behind is held in, and who had access to these funds?
It was Fifth Third Bank, and the only names would have been the clerk and Robert Hunt after Frank passed away.
Lord have mercy. That right there is a total bomb. And if you didn't get it, I want you to replay this back and let it sink into your mind what she just said. Okay? So this acting that Robert is doing, there's a whole acting like he doesn't know. Oh, this is too vague. I don't know how this goes. If he was there when Frank Zucarelli was there, he definitely knows how this goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, that's amazing. I don't know if you know this question. So, Stephanie worked at the Township. She didn't work in Dalton. I'll ask her this question, but I'm not sure she knows. What areas was Tiff involved with when she was trustee?
Wait, repeat that.
They want to know what areas Tiff was involved with when she was trustee. What I try to explain to them was that you worked at the Township. You didn't work in Dalton.
I did.
So,
I can just give you my opinion from where I sat, because along with being the township supervisor, Frank was also the Thornton Township Democratic committeeman. And
okay.
with that, it got us involved in a lot of races and a lot of communities in the township. Every election cycle, we were involved in races. So I did pay attention to some of these things, like this dislike with me and Tiffany. It's not new. It goes back to 2012 when I met her. So, there is history with some of this stuff. But with that Democratic organization, I did learn a few things about, Tiffany. And I will say, as a trustee, she asked the mayor very similar requests that her board is asking of her now. Can you get us the board books in a timely manner? We don't have time to look over these things. Who she was as a trustee contradicts everything she does as a mayor.
And I can see that, watching some of the old meetings, the way that she used to go at Mayor Riley,
Yep.
and we all know he wasn't as clean as the driven snow, cracks me up now that she is the mayor and doing some of the same things.
Correct.
It just it is mind-blowing to me how that switched so quickly. It
Yeah.
seems like, from her telling the story about how she became a trustee to where we're at now, it seems so far apart.
It is,
Really.
which is why it kind of upsets me when I hear people from the outside saying like, well, you voted her in, you got what you asked for. Well, okay, so she's always been rough around the edges, and she's always been slightly selfish. She's always been kind of hood. Like, there's always these things about her, but like, she seemed to be fighting for the right thing. So it's not fair to say that people, got what they deserved. Like, that's not what they thought they were getting.
Well, my thing is, first thing I try to tell people is she was not voted in Thornton Township. She was nominated in.
Correct.
So
Yep.
she was not voted in Thornton Township. So they didn't even get the opportunity to say no.
Right.
The third thing is, like you said, when she was a trustee, she was very compliant. She was very, you could work with her. She still was listening to good counsel, but as that power got closer, as she saw that she could get the power, she was gonna, get the power, and she would be in charge. I feel like that's when it turned.
Yes.
It turned that I'm now over these people and I don't have to listen to them. So something there with the ego, for me. That's the way it looks. First Lady Brown says, how long did Stephanie stay in her position when Tiffany took over? What was the relationship between the two of them? Woo! This is a loaded question, boy. I mean, I know, some of the things, but go ahead, Stephanie. Woo!
So she was appointed March 3rd, and I was fired March 22nd. So 2-ish weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there wasn't a relationship outside of, we just didn't really like each other. Our interactions at the capacity we had dealt with each other, wasn't great. The previous supervisor and myself were like family. Watching somebody like her have a relationship with somebody like that, you could tell it's very one-sided, and it was, it was what it was. It was theirs, I guess, but I didn't appreciate it. And it just always caused this weird tension. She had these expectations that people owed her something when, really we were doing a favor for him that just happened to involve you. She was, very ungrateful. And so I didn't have much dealings with her outside of what I was forced to. So when she got appointed supervisor, there was already that weird tension. My seat goes directly with the supervisor. There's no shock value in firing me because, well, I was his person. I'm not going to be your person. She did have an opportunity to give me something else, but in the meeting, she wanted me to choose a job. And I just felt like these people are my family. They're my team. I'm not going to like jockey for somebody's position. That's not who I am. So I told her that she was appointed to the seat, and then I felt like it was her decision to make. And that was on a Thursday, and that following Tuesday I was fired.
Now, for me, I feel like, and I want to know if you feel this way, I feel like whenever she is faced with people who are not going to compromise on their morals, she tries to give them this fake choice of, okay, go ahead and choose what you want to do. When in her mind, she's not going to allow you to stay there anyway, because she has a problem with anyone who wants to serve the people and not serve her.
Yeah, and that's probably one of my biggest issues. It's definitely the number one reason that I keep pushing through this is because, I don't underestimate the fact that at the end of my career, I had done, well for myself. I mean, everybody has put the numbers out there. We all know what it is, but I started there making $7.50 an hour, maybe 20 hours a week. Like, it was work to get to where I was. And it was work to keep it all going. So it wasn't an easy path. I feel like I earned everything I got. And I think that sometimes, I'm sorry, it's a bad idea to read these comments while I'm talking to you.
It is. It's a very bad idea. Don't look.
I think
Don't
I
look.
might have to flip them off. I can't stop.
Look, you can go down a rabbit hole. Put the private chat on.
Yeah, no,
That way you don't look.
I'm looking at Nikita talking about get her
I'm
in.
listen. I'm gonna Where's Dr. Nikita at? Add me. I'm gonna add you, Dr. Nikita. I'm gonna send it to you right now. Go to your messenger. Hold on one second. You can go ahead and keep talking, Stephanie. She actually wanted to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. So, how does Tiffany know Robert Hunt? If you know the answer to that.
So to my knowledge, they met through Frank. Robert was not involved out here. He was hired for the finance department through like an outsourcing company. And that's how he got into the township. And then once he was there for a while, he, had talked to the committeeman about having some, political aspirations. And he lived in Dalton. So he hooked him up with Stan Brown and Tiffany. And that's kind of how that.
And he was a trustee at one time, was he?
He was in Dalton. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he kind of transitioned. He lost his seat and he kind of transitioned to becoming the finance director, correct?
He was already the finance director.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about it. And now, how? Like, how to me are you the finance director and a trustee? I don't know that those. Well, obviously, those two positions were not compatible. Were not incompatible.
He's the finance director at the township. He was a trustee at the village.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. So that's how. But wow. I hope Dr. Nikita go to her messages so she can join this conversation. This is going to be hilarious in a few minutes.
Yes, it is.
Listen, I live for Dr. Nikita. I'm here for it.
You and me both.
Okay. So you said, you were fired. So then that became, let me just put up something that I read. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay, I have it. So I have a document here that I'm going to put on the screen. Give me 1 second. I think it's this one. Nope. But I can switch to this one. Okay. Here's the document. This is a document that I found. What up, Cooking with Frank? What's going on? Do you watch Cooking with Frank, Stephanie?
I do.
He is freaking hilarious.
He
and
absolutely
Tiffany hates him so much. That's why I love him, because she hates him so much. First of all, avid chatter, I can safely tell you that Tiffany has dirt on most of the people that are working for free. Because why else would you work for free? Okay? Because I don't work for free.
Yeah,
Stephanie, do you work for free?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, and that's probably why she don't want you over there, because she ain't got no dirt on you. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some things, because what she yelled out last night made me so mad.
Yeah, let her tell it, right?
Yeah, man, made me so stinking mad. I was like, I know she didn't. That's what I said. But anyway,
You know what my
this
theory is on that, really?
tell me.
She was real quick when she said, Ben Bradley numbers were wrong. Well, you had a whole slideshow prepared to
And
prove your point there. Well, I genuinely ask you to keep the same energy when you're throwing rocks at me. Like, make a slideshow, put it out there, let us see.
she had a whole slideshow full of cookbooks because the lady that got up and gave a comment that said these numbers are not computing.
Mm-hmm.
It was that lady for me. Okay. It was that lady for me. So I found this. This is dated August the 5th. I hope everybody can see it. Let me make it bigger. August the 5th. Can you see it there, Stephanie?
No, I can't see anything.
I made it bigger. But it's stated August the 5th, and this is from the Attorney General's office. It was sent, to you and to, this is Tiffany Jaworski. Can you tell us who she is?
She is the attorney for, she works for the Delgado Group.
She does.
Yeah, it's the township attorney.
Right. So they sent this letter, and you actually sent a complaint in, so this is how they got it, because you sent a complaint in about the Open Meetings Act.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to read a little bit of what you sent in, because I was so upset. This letter was upsetting to me. It was upsetting to me, one, that you had to write it, especially when you're talking in reference to a public servant, someone who is supposed to be serving the people, and all of the people, whether you like them or you don't. It says, Ms. WIEDEMAN alleged that when she arrived at the township building 10 minutes before the start of the board's meeting that evening, a security guard told her that she was not wanted in the building. The audacity. How do you tell a resident of the township that is coming for a township meeting that they are not wanted? Do you remember writing this? Do you remember?
Oh, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
It says, Ms. WIEDEMAN alleged that she nonetheless entered the building. Why? Because you could. That was your right. They couldn't stop you.
Yeah, and I knew this guy was new. He was trying to be so nice. He had no clue that I was just going to plow through him anyway.
Yeah, but this is how Tiffany has been weaponizing this government and this administration against the residents, right?
Yep.
So it says that you were then ushered down to the meeting room despite there being space in the actual meeting room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says that Keith Freeman intervened on behalf of the board by requiring her and others to go to an overflow room that did not have sound. Do that sound familiar? What meeting? She's done this at 2 meetings now, right?
Yes.
To a whole group and room full of people.
Absolutely.
And so this is the process. This is what I'm trying to show the residents. This is the process. This is what you do. You in turn write a letter to the Attorney General and you tell them that the Open Meetings Act was violated, right? And then you tell them what happened. And so this is what you did. This is what you did. You told them what happened on August the 15th, 2023.
Yes, I actually have done a lot of them. I mean, so many that they know me.
Right.
At the General's office at this point. Because there's been many incidents, prior to the media picking up real big on even the Dalton story. I had been removed from meetings by the police. I mean, she has had me arrested. I mean, this has been the police thing has backed down now a little bit, but the what it used to be was intimidating to residents. People were afraid of them because they were in a position where they felt like they had to do certain things to keep their jobs, in my opinion.
Right. And to me, um, this has just been so typical of what she's been doing to the residents. You know, once you get these letters and these binding opinions, it gives you recourse to sue the township, right?
It does.
You know, and if that's your, you know, if that's something that you want to do, you know, while it may not be something you should do, it's something you can do because your rights have been violated, right?
Yeah, they actually haven't given me a bonding decision yet.
Okay.
I believe that Mr. Dan Lee is the winner in that one. He received.
Yeah. He's like the first. I think he was the first one, and I
He
think that was
is.
like what, a week ago.
Yep, and it's really hard to do. I mean, they're very specific about those binding decisions, but he did get one.
I will read this because somebody's asking about charges. What charges did they put on you? Did the arrest cause you to have fines or need to pay for an attorney?
So they charged me with theft under 500 for picking up Tiffany's campaign literature off of the car window.
That is crazy. that is crazy. I think that's a charge that I would have took too. Because that's insane.
I mean, it was my car and like Nikita's car and Mayor Riley.
Nikita is screaming. Let me get her up here. Mm-hmm. You all, family in the chat, you all please welcome the illustrious, the exquisite, the debonair. What else can we say about her?
We definitely know she's going to spice up the conversation.
Man, this is going to be great. Every time I talk to her, I learn something.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Dr. Nikita Nichikla.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, Stephanie on here being all nice. Listen, let's give y'all the tea.
Here we go.
I love this.
Okay, this let me clarify a few things.
Let's go. Come on.
So I was in the room, right? So me and Stephanie, we met, and it was funny because she said like I was the only one that, you know, was in there speaking to everybody like, hi, because, you know, I don't like her, you know, I don't like Tiffany. So it's like
the big thing with us, the people that were already there, we were like, okay, why is she with them? We couldn't understand how she fit in here. It just didn't make sense to us.
Oh, but there was a plan. There was a plan,
baby. So the meeting that where Stephanie mentioned that Tiffany offered her like pick a job, right? Mm-hmm. So mind you, y'all, let me paint the picture. So we're in Mr. Zucarelli's office, right? And Tiffany is sitting at the end of, he has this big conference table, like a 8-person, 10-person conference table, right? So Tiffany is sitting at the end of the table. Stephanie's sitting right across from her. I am at the back of the table on the other end, right? So I kept getting up, going to get snacks, and I'm taking notes. Hold on, because it was good, y'all. So they're going back and forth, and you know how you can just tell, like I didn't know they knew each other. So I'm like, no, they really don't like each other, right? So it's like a whole shade fest. So I'm writing signs, I'm sitting, putting stuff up like, Tiffany, don't fire her. Like, this gonna be the end of you, like not the white girl. Oh, no. Oh God. I'm sitting there, and Stephanie saw me sitting here trying to get Tiffany eye contact, like, don't do this. Like,
oh my God.
Stephanie, how many times did I get up to go get snacks?
At least 15.
And you're supposed to have been taking notes, Lord.
I took the notes.
She took notes.
Not only I took the notes, I recorded the whole conversation when Tiffany told Stephanie, I don't like you. I don't trust you. Yes. I'm like, you really said this to an employee?
Wow.
Recorded that whole conversation.
That's crazy. That is crazy. How do you say that in when we have, the workplace rights and all of those things? Y'all wasn't advising this lady. She wasn't listening. I remember the Tiffany girl said she was not listening. The lawyer Tiffany.
Like Tiffany can never say she wasn't told.
Right.
Tiffany did not listen.
Wow.
And that's why she's in the situation she's in now. So the day she fired Stephanie, and Stephanie knows I thought that was a bad idea. In fact, when Stephanie was still, well, we'll get to the car situation in just a second, but Stephanie has sent a FOIA request, right, to the village of Dalton. And she, remember that, Stephanie?
Yes, I do.
And look, I got a message to Stephanie like, fix the bottom and resubmit that FOIA request.
Because I think it was information I was asking for from both entities, so I copied and pasted, and I think I forgot to change something at the bottom that probably said Thornton Township, and I sent it to the village of Dalton.
No. Wow.
So I said, look, I need her to get this information. I need help. So I got a message to Stephanie. Was it through Jason? It was somebody. I was like, tell her to fix the bottom and resubmit the FOIA request, right? It was crazy. So the day she ended up firing Stephanie, I told her, like, that's not a good idea, right? We had gone back and forth, like, literally into it. Like, Tiffany and I, we got into it a lot because, she made a lot of decisions. And I used to ask, like, hey, does this make sense to you? Like, take me there. Help me help you. What were you thinking when you came up with this stupid ass idea, right? Like, I used to ask straight up because I needed to know, like, I really wanted to help sis. So she came up with this idea that she's going to fire Stephanie. Now, mind you, she didn't even know what a township was. So how are you going to fire the girl who knows everything?
Right, because she's been there for 20 years. You should have utilized her like she was an encyclopedia. For me, that is what you do.
Exactly. And that's what I told her. I'm like, okay, I get it. Even if you don't want her in your department, that's too much wisdom. That's too much knowledge for you to fire. Especially keep in mind what I just said. Tiffany told me point blank, she did not know what the role of a supervisor did. She was chasing the bag.
Wow. So you don't know what, and this just makes me feel more and more and more like, like this was a setup as far as her getting nominated, and there was just something underlying going on there because she was already having issues with the trustees in Dalton, right?
Yeah, but I know a lot of people, and I do have to say this, and I'm gonna give Stephanie back her interview. It's two more things, but Chris Gonzalez, I promise, I stand on this. I did not know Chris Gonzalez from a can of paint, so I'm not saying this as a friend. I'm telling you the truth. I will say this under oath. Chris Gonzalez got finesse. So here's the play. This is what happened. So around late November, it was early November. Tiffany decided to do renovations on Village Hall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was approved through the board, to put some paint up, fix some floors upstairs, but Tiffany extra. So now she want to go downstairs and start tearing down walls and building extra offices and things of this sort. Now she had another contractor there doing all of the work. The work was like 95% done, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in January, so around it was around Christmas, the entire office. I don't think I can say that, but okay. So in January, we came back to work because we had to close Village Hall due to a health incident, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So we had to close Village Hall for about a week. On the day that Village Hall opened back up, which was January 3rd, that was the day that Mr. Zucarelli passed away.
Mm.
Okay, so I saw someone in the comments asking, was Tiffany there? Listen, it was the most uncomfortable experience I have ever experienced in my life. So the call came in, Zucarelli passed. Tiffany decided she wanted to go to the house.
Mm.
But keep in mind, she had a security detail. Her security detail was a Dalton police officer. So when you got to Mr. Zucarelli block, if you weren't a close family member, you had to stay at the end of the block, right, Stephanie? They
Yeah,
had
the street blocked
yeah,
off.
they had the street blocked off. But because Tiffany was in a police vehicle, they let us through. Now,
Mm.
we get to the house. Stephanie's out there. Nate is there. Mr. Zucarelli's his beloved was there. I think a couple members of his family were there. Now we're outside, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? They said they're waiting on a funeral home. So I'm like, wait a minute. He's still in the house. Tiffany want to be out here taking pictures, shaking hands, kissing babies, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I go get in the police vehicle. I'm looking at Stephanie and they looking at me like, who is this broad, right? And I get it. I get it because it was an uncomfortable moment. And just given as though most people know, I just lost my father. Can you imagine if it was a no name sitting there just lurking around in someone's literally their most private moment? And she's out here. It's them, it's the family, everyone who's known him. Like Stephanie just said, she worked for this man for 20 years. His girlfriend, wife, or whomever, his sister, his employee, the people who matter to him are there, and then us, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I
Right.
kept wanting to get in the car, and I'm like, dude, I'm talking to the security detail. I'm like, this is mad uncomfortable. And Tiffany like, come on, I need you to be out here with me. And it was crazy. So I had to stand out there in the cold. She was there when they took out his when they took out Mr. Zucarelli from the house. She pulled out her phone to film this man being put in the vehicle to be taken to the funeral home.
Wow.
So right after that, um, we went to eat, and then at the restaurant we went to S2 Grill, the one that's in Tinley Park. I
Okay.
think
I
Dawn
love that place.
remember, yeah, good food.
Yeah.
So we were in there, and she wanted me to write a statement for her from my cell phone because she had to get it out first, right? That attention whore. I gotta get it out first. We gotta get this statement out first. So now I'm typing an official document from my cell phone, right? Crazy. So that same day was the board meeting. The same board meeting that the board stated that they were not going to hire Keith Freeman. The same board meeting, she had me to write this statement, and she read this statement, tears and all. Don't sound like the same Zucarelli that she was just talking about at the board meeting the other day. She said that man will give you the shirt off of your back. He will give you, I mean, like the food truck if you were hungry. She sang his praises. She did it to me. Before this man died, she had me calling his phone for food boxes. Remember that, Stephanie?
I do.
Oh my God.
So, and this man wasn't even well then. You can tell he did not sound well. But guess what he did? He sent Tiffany a truckload of food boxes to give to the community. That's the type of man he is. Now, mind you, I don't know Zuccarelli from a can of paint. I'm just telling you what I know. So 2 days later, she come and get me. We went to the taco restaurant that, Mr. Bobby Meir, shout out to Bobby Meir, was just talking about on in Dalton Politics. So she told me, she says she's going to be the next supervisor. I don't know how she knew that, but that man wasn't buried yet. That was 2 days later.
Hmm.
All right.
Interesting.
Now, back to Chris Gonzalez. Next thing you know, that those contractors that were working, which was not Chris Gonzalez, on Village Hall, were gone. She went and finessed Chris Gonzalez. and hired him. He came in there. I was there when he did his evaluation of the work. Tiffany complained. She said she wanted him to change all the colors. She came up with all of this work that she wanted him to do so she can get close to him. He did not do anything wrong. He didn't know what she was doing.
Wow.
And keep in mind, I still did not know who he was, but she did.
Wow.
So now he didn't know her. He did not. So when he said that, it was true. He just
because what he said was the reason he picked her was because she was young. She would have been the first Black woman mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted, the township to go forward.
Yeah, and that's reasonable, like you have to look at it like he probably thinking at this point, all right, let's kind of, give it a change. He didn't know her history. And at the time, Dalton wasn't on the map like it is now. So a lot of people, if you weren't in the know, then you didn't know that we were going through that, the friction between the board and the trustees and things of that sort. Because if you look back at the board meetings from back in the day, we had 78 views. Now there are tens of 20s and sometimes 100,000 views on a video. People didn't know what was going on. And, and then also to the residents, what people say, well, the residents knew who they voted for. I also need you to also consider that during that election, it was in 2020. What happened right during that election? People were dying left or right. It was COVID. People were afraid to go outside. And then right after the election, the world shut down.
Right.
So it's a lot of misconceptions. I get it. I'm not faulting anyone, but I think that we forget to put those little facts out there.
Hey, Nikita, I have a question for you because honestly, everything from the day Frank passed away probably until the day I got fired from the township, everything is kind of a blur for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for me to remember some things, but I've had a couple people ask me recently if Tiffany was in the house that day, and I cannot remember.
She went in the house, but the chief kicked her out. The chief of South Highland Police.
Okay, so
he was asking about, he only wanted family, you guys. He only allowed the family to go inside the house. And I was definitely not messing around like that. Like, no, I'm not doing it. But no, he was he did his job, definitely shout out to the chief of police for South Highland. He kept control of the situation and he was adamant, you're not family, get out.
Wow. I have the January 3rd, 2022 meeting up. Where about in that meeting does she
in the beginning, actually, is doing her mayor's report right before
okay.
So it's after the Pledge of Allegiance, and then it's right before they go to start talking about the vote for Keith Freeman.
Okay, hold on, let me see. I'm gonna try to bring it up.
Please do.
This was the meeting where she got mad at Brittany because her mic was still on. I remember this. She gonna be so nasty. Hold on, I'm gonna put this up because Brittany mic gets on for some reason. I don't know why. Hold on. But she was nasty then because what, she gonna get pissed that Brittany's mic is on. Hold on.
Y'all get used to writing a 22 on your papers. The time is now 6:33 p.m. Clerk, if you would, call the roll.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Trustee Steve?
Present.
Trustee Norwood?
Present.
Trustee Belcher?
Here.
Trustee Holmes?
Present.
Trustee Brown?
Present.
And Trustee House?
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Next, if you all will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Hold on one second. Cooking with Frank. If you still up here, yes, Cooking with Frank. If you don't do a video with this hairdo with Tiffany in it, I'm done with you. Because that is 2022, and I feel like it's 1972 when I look at this. You know what? Let me just play this because I'm getting distracted.
United States of America and to the republic, stand one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Trustee Norwood, if you would please stop unmuting yourself. Only when you guys are speaking, you can unmute yourself. If everyone would stay muted, I would appreciate it. Next, we're going to do prayer. If you would, Trustee Holmes, you want to leave us in prayer?
Sure.
Thank you.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for letting us see another year. We ask that you keep your holy arms over the village of Dalton. We ask that any and everyone all keep Zucarelli's family in your prayer because of the loss today. And we ask that you shield and cover our seniors and our children. Hopefully that we can get through this meeting in a peaceful form. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Next, we have general announcements. Are there any general announcements from anyone?
Yes, ma'am, recognize.
Okay, go ahead, Trustee.
Just want to announce that the trustees this month will not be doing our monthly installation or as a team with the trustees. We'll resume back in February. We will send an email and through our communications, put the information out. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, I got two announcements that I want to make in the beginning. One is I would like to introduce, well, before I do the introduction, well, you know, I'm gonna do an introduction because I'm a crybaby. So we're gonna do the introduction first. So first, I would like to introduce a person by the name of Tyrone Muhammad. He is part of, well, he is the founder of ECCSC. I hope I got it right, Ty. I was messed the initials up. He is coming on board with the Village of Dalton, and he will head, meaning lead, the second chance thing that I have going on for the.
And I know right now this man, Tyrone Muhammad, is very pissed because he helped her get elected. Is that correct, Dr. Nikita?
Man, let me give you. I know that a lot of people have mixed views on Tyrone Muhammad, but let me say this: when it comes to somebody having someone's back, he came out there. He walked with her. He stood with her.
Exactly.
With the gas giveaway, he was the real. It was his gas giveaway. If we really being real, he helped her, and yeah.
This is where she talks about the second chance thing. So I want you all to pay attention of how she slickly got the criminals that we have now their jobs, the ones that's working for free, mind you.
Dalton resident who has backgrounds, issues, or problems. Currently, a lot of people don't know I did make the Village of Dalton a second chance village through executive order, and now we're implementing a plan to show you guys what it entails. Next board meeting, which is in 2 weeks, we will lay out exactly what is about to happen. Today is really just a meet and greet, so you'll know who's heading it. Tyrone Muhammad has been all over the city of Chicago, and he is out here in the south suburbs as well. I thought he was the best candidate to head this organization because of his background, his fight, his willingness to help people like myself. The only difference is I'm a politician and he's basically, I don't want to say street person, but he's out in the streets, in the communities with people trying to make a difference. Currently, this program will help people with backgrounds such as any issues you have. I'll say that. Any issues that you have, we do help. You got to want the help. I'll say that. It will focus on job placement. It will focus on healthcare, transportation, and housing. Currently now we're structuring it. Any trustees or anybody that wants to help with the program or structure it or add to, please, by all means, give your input. Let us know what you want to see. And it is to help people that are struggling. As you know, people go and do the time for their crime and they get out. And unfortunately, society has a bad way of making them feel like they don't exist or that their crime will forever be their punishment for life, and that's not true. Not here with Tiffany Henyard. With me, as your mayor, I will always give people a second chance. I will always try to implement a difference in the community, and this is what the difference looks like. It's about us going to these homes that are your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, your aunties, and your grandmas. They all have backgrounds. They all have issues. So when I door knock and speak to them, they ask me to help with the things that I just mentioned: the job placement, the healthcare, the transportation, and the housing, of course, being number one. So with that being said, I want to introduce Tyrone Muhammad, just give him an opportunity just to speak to everyone. And then the next board meeting, we will go in more depth of what we're about to accomplish here. Tyrone, you do have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor Henyard, and the trustees that's online, Clerk K. I would like to just say thank you for the opportunity, and I truly look forward to being just as effective here in Dalton as I have been in Chicago. For those who don't know me, outside of, I think, Edward Steed, who I have a somewhat of a relationship with and who knows me. We work together in several aspects. But for everyone else, pleased to meet you, hope to meet you soon, hope to be able to sit down with you all individually, to prick your brains, to get your ideas on how you think we can best implement the program. But what I would tell you, giving you a little history, I served 21 years in prison. And immediately upon coming out, I knew that in order for violence to have the communities to have a chance and violence to be repaired in our communities in Chicago, I know it would take us to save us. And as formerly incarcerated person who had a hand in gang, drugs, and violence myself, it's incumbent upon us who have served that time.
I'm gonna speed past this. Let's see if we can get past him. Cause he finna be long-winded.
I love that about you, that you actually put them back to work. And you show them a different route, and they know not to go down the road they came from, and no one wants to go back. So we always have to put in place tools to make sure that they do succeed when they come out of prison or jail or whatever you guys are calling it nowadays. But basically they have to learn how to live back amongst us. And we as politicians must give them tools to succeed by giving them an avenue and an outlet. And that's kind of what myself and Tyrone Muhammad is going to put together.
Man, I would be remiss in my duty if I didn't acknowledge a good friend.
Somebody asked, was this during the surplus or the deficit? This was how long, Dr. Nikita or Stephanie, how long had Tiffany been mayor when Frank passed away?
A little less than 6 months. So she was
right.
6 months. Yeah.
So she hadn't stolen everything at this point.
she was still baby thief.
Right. So she hadn't stolen, too much at this point. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, she still had that wig.
That child, Lord, that's a helmet. That is not,
working with people.
Let me play this.
He would truly be missed.
Oh. Wait a minute, I went too bad because she done started crying already. Lord, Viola Davis.
And Tyrone Muhammad is going to put together.
Yeah, I would be remiss in my duty if I didn't acknowledge.
She turned that water on fast, child.
And work in
look at she just smiling right there.
Assisting in reducing fire.
Girl, she might have been high right there.
Yes, that he is. Trustee Holmes is a big advocate of change and being there when people truly need them. So I thank you as well, Trustee. Next on the agenda for general announcements. And the reason why I say I'm a crybaby is a good friend of mine's passed today. A lot of people don't know how close me and Zucarelli was, but we was really close. I'm gonna read the statement and then I'm gonna move on. Today, January 3rd, 2022. I am extremely sad to learn about the sudden passing of Thornton Township Supervisor Frank M. Zucarelli. This is a great loss to our community. Our thoughts and prayers are with his loved ones and family. As my mentor and my dear friend, I had a personal connection with his inspiration and goodwill.
Clerk Key mouth is killing me.
The best we can do to honor his memory is to continue to follow what he stood for. People working with people. He would truly be missed. I don't want to keep going, but I can go on and on about what a great man Frank Zucarelli was. It was said when I got the news today about his departure.
Did she say I could go on and on?
Hold up. Listen, y'all. I wrote the speech. She couldn't read all the words. I just got to tell you. I'm sorry. I said it.
Oh my God. Dr. Nikita, you know what?
She couldn't read the words. I'm just sorry. I might tell you a joke.
But it won't be that. But still, for her to even say that at that time, to say, I could go on and on about how great he was, and then get in the meeting last night and say,
"You're gonna learn about
this,
that lying." You're
okay, that's what I'm
that
saying.
Lying. You're gonna learn about that.
Okay, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do.
Like, listen, like that man. I can't. He will give you the shirt off. Just keep listening to this, and the way she talked about him last night.
Oh my God. Okay. Let me continue. Let's see what else she say, because I'm stumped at I could go on and on about how great this man is.
And no one knows what will happen while you're here. So I try my best to tell my family, my loved ones, that I love them. And I think everyone should do the same, because today is not promised to anyone. This is an example of that. I don't want everyone to continue fighting. I know that things are going to get bad before they get better, especially within his organization. And it's sad to see people fighting over seats, titles.
Dr. Nikita, who is this James dude right here?
I don't know. I don't remember him. I can't remember I know he was trying to sell something. This was back when she used to have, when, they were still sort of doing things the right way, and they would have, like vendors come before the board and present, like RFP. Yeah. That was
Dr. Nikita put the big words in there on purpose. She wanted to show y'all what she needed to show y'all before she needed to show y'all. That's what she done. Listen, I feel like that First Lady Butterfly in the Sky. I can fly twice as high. Yeah, that's how I feel about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Dr. Nikita did it on purpose to try to show y'all what y'all was dealing with, but it got looked over because she was crying. But that definitely was the butterfly in the sky. Okay, child. That's and then Clerk Key, Tammy Brown, Brittany, they are taking me out because they're like, girl, hurry up and finish this mess. Look at Clerk Key's face. She looked like, you know how when your kids think they so funny and they say something to you. You know what I'm saying? Like when your kid, they think they is so funny. You know, and they saying something. That's how you look at your kid. Like, if you don't go on out my face, boy, I said go clean your room. Don't try to tell me no jokes. That's how she looked. I'm like, Jesus. Okay, child. Okay, well, okay. Let's finish it, child, because the lies is getting thick.
Things of that nature, and the person not even in the ground yet. I will miss you, Frank Zucarelli. You, my true friend.
Dr. Nikita will miss you.
I will miss the late night phone calls. Just your overall support of me as mayor. I thank you for everything you have done for myself and for community. And I will live up to your name of people working with people. That's all he cared about. He had a heart for the people. He had a heart for community. And don't you dare come to any of his events and say you're hungry. He gonna give you the whole truck. I guarantee it. So with that being said, I'm gonna move forward to village report.
Child, this is taking me out. She said he will give you the whole truck. And as we can see, she will give herself the whole truck.
But he literally, but here's the thing, and I know I don't want to talk too much on it because Stephanie, like when I say Stephanie loved that man right there, like it make you wanna, like, I wish I've known him but he literally, guys, let me explain. This was right before Christmas. It was December 18th. You can look it up. She had the turkey giveaway. He literally gave her the whole truck of food to give away to the community. And she treated him like that.
Wow. And you know what, Stephanie, my condolences to you because the travesty in all of this is that you could have been a great resource to her and she could have actually held this seat just as long as him if she had listened.
Yeah, if she would have done it right, it definitely could have been something different.
Right.
On another note, you know what watching that video taught me?
What?
There was a time she didn't lie.
Stephanie, we can't even say that because Nikita wrote the speech.
I didn't lie.
Damn.
It was, here go, look, Stephanie, it was me.
I tried to look for the lining.
Okay, you did, girl. You did. It's somewhere under that wig, but it ain't in that speech because Dr. Nikita wrote that. Oh my God.
Did you proud, Stephanie.
This is turning into a roast. I cannot with y'all tonight. I cannot. But yeah, I mean, you tried, Stephanie. I think a lot of people have tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. She's had like that second chance program. Like she's had that multiple times with multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I feel like she's had plenty of times to correct herself. She's had a lot of time, if you look at it. A recalled mayor who was given an extra time by a judge.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't get it right still with that, that is no one's fault. That's your fault.
And the lack of being grateful the day when the day the judge ruled in her favor that now here's the thing. A lot of people, it was a recall and they should have known it. No. And I'll own it. Like I'm an accountability person. I think, we made a bad call I wasn't in it, but it was a bad call putting both referendum questions. It happened, right?
Right.
Because she was a danger. So I can see them, hey, let's just try to get both of these questions on here now. We can't risk another election. Anything can happen. Because at this point, think about it. I just told you, they told her she can paint. She started tearing down walls. Like when I say spending that money, she started spending that money. And so that being said, that happened, right? But it was a technicality. It wasn't that the people didn't do their part. The people voted. In fact, if you look at the numbers for the recall, it's double the amount of people who voted her in.
That part.
Out.
That part right there.
People who voted to recall her than for the recall mechanism itself.
Wow. But you're around here saying otherwise. And I want to say this to Mr. Paul Roberts. Mr. Paul Roberts, yes, she had a lot of mentors. But at the moment she felt that she was going to win, she stopped listening.
Yep.
She stopped listening to those people.
Yep.
She had a lot of mentors. A lot of them in her corner, even though she was rough around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
She could have had Stephanie WIEDEMAN as the greatest asset on the township side.
Yep.
So yeah, she had a lot of people.
I can confirm Stephanie tried to educate her. as she said, educate y'all. But Stephanie tried at that table. She brought her papers. She said, listen, Tiffany, she had patience. She had the patience of a saint. She like, listen, Tiffany. And she started breaking down. And even she admitted areas of opportunity. Stephanie really did. I sat there on the meeting. One day, Stephanie, we should release it. We're going to hold it now, Justin, because I know that.
Boy, well, listen, I hope you release it on this show.
Oh.
I hope you release it on this show.
But when I tell you, like, she literally broke everything down. Like, hey, this is the areas of improvement. This is, this is where I would do if I were you. How can I help you? I'm here to serve. She literally said that. It is I have the transcript and I have the audio. Stephanie said that. She said, I am here to serve. What do you want me to do?
I think as has everybody. Everybody, I feel like, tried to work with her.
Yeah.
Everybody that was of good character and accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that had been in their positions for many years.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody gave her a chance.
Like these folks, these are legends in the community, and they were trying to work with her. They gave her a chance, but nobody stated that she was perfect. Not a soul.
Right.
Everybody said there was area of opportunity. She's rough around the edges. We can work with her. But at the end of the day, there were no other candidates.
Right. But I feel like they said that they could work with her because she pretended that she would work with them.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, Sherry Hatcher Britton was, they were trying to help her. Even though she was, I feel like the rough around the edges thing, people kind of, not ignored it, but kind of excused it because she wanted, it seemed that she wanted the help at that time.
But also, you have to consider the fact that I think, okay, so it was Andrew Holmes didn't live in Dalton. The other guy, if memory serves me correctly, Sherry's in the chat, correct us. He did not live in Dalton, or it was some questionable with
right.
And then Riley had a stroke. And then COVID. You get what I'm saying? So people,
right.
And then Riley had a strong senior base. So the seniors were not coming out during COVID. You remember if in the news, they were saying seniors were terrified to go outside even after the pandemic.
Right.
They were not going outside. So you were not getting those votes. So it was just a bad situation altogether. And that's what we ended up with.
Wow. I mean, absolutely incredible. Well, you gonna stay on with us, Dr. Nikita? It's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
Stephanie, you want me to stay on and instigate you?
I do.
One thing I wanted to go over tonight. So I told the people we're doing a recap of the meeting. And one thing I want to do officially on my channel is to give a big, huge shout out to Carmen Carlisle. And I want to give a big, huge shout out to her because she's a very quiet person. She's not a very loud person, and she's not a conflict person. And for her to step up and do what she did last night was amazing. She said several times in the meetings that she is new to being a trustee and being in that seat because she was chief of staff before. She wasn't a trustee.
Mm-hmm.
So it was new to her having to really start to look at the warrant list.
Yep.
To start to decipher invoices and how the process works of how people get paid or how they're supposed to get paid. So she's really just finding, all of these things out. And I feel like once she realized or once she recognized that the way that she was doing things was not correct, because I feel like she was seeking advice from Tiffany because she was the chief of staff previously, right?
Yeah, so a little backstory. So Carmen actually worked under me at the Village of Dalton. That was like little sis. And I was actually doing a lot of training her. And with Carmen, she is the type of person, and everything you said so far is absolutely correct. She is a doll. She's a sweetheart. She's non-confrontational, loyal to a fault. And loyal to a fault. And I'm gonna say that a third time, loyal to a fault. And you also have to keep in mind when Carmen worked under me, she did not see the things that I went through. She didn't see the fighting between Tiffany and I. She may have seen some things, but not everything. She didn't see the things I peeped, which is why I quit. She didn't see her or me, because I was a fixer as a publicist. I literally used to clean it up, make it look pretty, try to, soften the blow. Keep in mind, I'm the same person who took Tiffany and two other trustees to dinner to try to fix all of this. So that being said, Carmen come in, I leave. Now, when I left, I didn't talk to any of the employees because I know how Tiffany is. Even if they did not know, Tiffany is an extremely hateful, spiteful individual. And if she'd known that they would talk to me, she would fire them. And guess what? I have a husband. I have a business. My situation may not be your situation, and I would never want to be put in a situation where a person lost their job because of me. Stephanie is the exact same way. People have literally lost their jobs because of their relationships with us. That being said, Carmen immediately goes into and steps into the position. And Tiffany, she did the same thing she did with me, that little finesse move.
Well, she tried.
Yeah, she tried to do that little finesse, like, hey, I'm this person, everyone's just beating up on me, and all of this is all bad. These people are bad, but I'm good. They don't understand me. I'm misunderstood. And then Carmen, being the nice person that she is, she thought, just like all of us, we can fix her. We can help this situation. We can do that. Now, I wouldn't have stayed as long, but her heart was in the right place always. And then
Right.
when she peaked, when Tiffany blatantly lied to that girl's face, Carmen showed you her integrity stepped up. Now, she
Right.
could have quit and dealt with all the banter, the slander, everything. She could have stepped down. She's dealing with full-fledged. People don't understand. With Tiffany, it's like being in an abusive relationship with a narcissist. And what we're all witnessing is the breakup of a narcissist. So Carmen is doing the right thing because she could have.
Right. And I feel like she's now that she is learning, the Robert's Rules of Order, how as a trustee, she is supposed to vote in the best interest of the residents and not in the best interest of Tiffany. I feel like she got finessed in that manner. You know what I mean? Well, Tiffany was telling her, well, I'm just trying to do what's best for the residents, and this is best for the residents. So you should vote with me. I could hear her saying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I commend her. And I want to take my hat off to her because it is not easy, especially as we found out in a previous meeting that Tiffany visited her home and tried to intimidate her. That definitely is unacceptable. That's weird behavior to me. Like, why are you showing up to my home about business?
Yeah, she's a bully. She's a bully.
So that was strange to me, but I just want to tell Carmen that you have a whole township behind you, and definitely don't be afraid, because there are people out here who will stand up for you if need be. So please continue to do your job. And I feel like the residents are going to continue to uplift you and back you up when you need them. But she began to speak up in the meeting last night about some things on the warrant list. And I told the people that I would go back to the warrant list, to where Robert was reading. Robert needs some water. Stephanie, was you in that room last night?
Not when Robert was reading. I actually didn't get there until about 10 minutes before the public comments, like just in time for her to start talking about me.
Because, child, the way he needed some water reading this warrant list. I'm going to go back in the meeting. Let me get to the meeting. I'm going to go back in the meeting to where, I think it was where Carmen called her out. And shout out to Critical Smoker for the video that he took last night. Thank you for the footage. Thank you for allowing us to use the footage. So okay, so at this point, we see that Carmen, they're paying the bills. They're supposed to be paying the bills. Did y'all see it? Did I put it on the screen?
Nope.
Okay, hold on. Child.
Now
I need to put this wine down. So they went to, on the agenda, they went to paying the bills. And Carmen called out some things on the warrant list that she wanted taken out. And this is where this child becomes unhinged and then proceeds. She made me feel like, I ain't even gonna say that. Let me just play this, child.
What's these items that they don't want to read into record, since they don't want people to know what's going on? Read those items into record. Whatever items that you don't want to read. Okay, so go ahead. Trustee, please. Stop. We're gonna be transparent. What y'all have? What do you have? Stop. Read them into record. What she wants to take out. What they don't want to pay. Please tell the residents.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'll start reading numbers. 54.
Let me ask you a question. I can ask this to both of you. What do you think was Tiffany's motive for having, because Carmen, what she did was she said that she wanted to take items 54 to 72, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, Tiffany gets mad. Oh, now we're going to be transparent and read it into the record. So what do you think? Critical Smoker, that's funny. Yes, you did hear your name, sir. Thank you so much. Salute to you. That is funny and scary at the same time. So what do you all think was her point, or why do you think she called the lackey? And I call him the gopher. He is the go for this, the go for that, the errand boy. He gonna be the fall for this and the fall for that too. What do you think was her motive of having him read? And I'm gonna tell you, it was 28 minutes, 25 minutes, and 31 seconds long that he read all of this stuff.
Stephanie, you can go first. I know what I'm thinking.
Well, I mean, him taking 25 minutes to read, it actually worked to my benefit, because I had a board meeting at the Park District, and it was over in enough time for me to still make it to the Township. So I appreciated him for that, if I can give him credit where credit is due. I think that her reasoning may have been because something in that sequence of numbers they were taking out was something that she wanted to, you know how she does, like, oh, you don't want to feed his family, and you know how she is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think that one of those may have been that, and she was looking to
get a reaction out of the residents. She thought
the employees. It was actually a lot of employees in that room that night.
Okay, Dr. Nikita, what do you think her?
Well, you guys know that, and this is interesting. I don't know. I don't watch all the YouTubes. I know some people I do kind of catch, but what I haven't seen was uh, anyone do the videos between all of the lawsuits that are with Tiffany and Robert Hunt when he was a trustee at the township. They're friends, right? But she doesn't respect Rob. She treat Robert as a flunky, and Robert is in fear of his job. You got to think about it. Robert is doing what, Stephanie, 200,000 now a year, close to that?
Robert should be in fear of jail. He should not be in fear of his job. Because
Yeah.
I'm not in fear. When I go to work, I'm not in fear of that job. I'm in fear of somebody at that job causing me to go to jail. That's what I be in fear of. But okay, go ahead.
Facts. No, you're absolutely correct. But yeah, she bullied Robert. Like, I have heard her go full-fledged unhinged at that buddy. Like, I wouldn't do
She
it.
made me feel like they got something. I mean, we know she have a lot of miles on her, but
Nah, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I wouldn't give Rob, but Tiffany and Rob are friends, and they've been friends for a long time. And
But I heard he like cougars. You know what? I'm digressing today. Go ahead. No lie, that's what I heard. I heard that he like cougars. His wife is a cougar, right? Okay, child. You know, we gotta get the facts and the tea over here. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Ty. 180. Yeah, 180 per year. Yep. Yeah, no, he's clearing a bag. And you know, so that to me, that means a lot to some people, you know. And I think that's why
That's why you think that's why?
Yeah, I think it's about the money. I mean, you have to think about it like this. She done already beat him up. They already got the plan. Stephanie said the part about, you know, she thought that she was going to, you know, like instigate it and piss a bunch of people off and it was going to be but she ended up looking stupid in the end because, you know, what we heard was she was trying to pay for a bunch of cakes and, you know, stupid stuff, further wasting the money, further proving why, you know, you're incompetent, you're a functional illiterate, and you do not need to be in that seat.
This is wild. So I'm glad that you brought up because we're not gonna sit through everything that Robert read because it was like fingernails on a chalkboard listening to him read because it's very difficulty. It's giving very difficulty, friend. Okay, and I was so confusion. Just trying to hear him read. I was like, this man is a certified public accountant, and he is giving very much difficulty today. I mean, that took me out. I said, what? This man is actually a certified public accountant, but you know, anyway, I digress. So if you are looking at the screen, what I did was I went to our dear friend Critical Smokers video and I went to the transcripts and I copied and pasted all the stuff that he read. Okay, so we got all these cakes. The seniors finna have diabetes. They finna have the sugar. Because why would they need all these cakes? My other question was, this was my main question. These seniors live at a senior home, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the responsibility of the senior home to be having events like Big Bingo for the seniors at the senior home.
I'm glad you said that. You are absolutely correct. The senior buildings have a position, and usually they're always hiring if anyone is looking for employment. And that position is called an activity coordinator.
That's it.
Yep, the activity coordinator is literally hired to do bingo and you know, create and take the seniors on zoo dates and, you know, do stuff like that and keep them entertained. Well, what Tiffany decided to do is there's, you know, some senior buildings in the area that she's finessed because that's what she do. And how she do that is she try to give people things, you know, hey, I'm gonna give you a big TV and, you know, I'm gonna, you know, do wash machines and dryers. And now, mind you, they're not all, the people who come to bingo are not just residents from
the senior building. Some are residents in the community. And I also want to point out, not all the residents who come to bingo support Tiffany. They're really just coming to win their TV or their wash machine, but she hasn't figured that part out. But what she do is she find a way to go into the senior buildings and she offer them these, you know, glimmers and of hope. I have literally had residents, like seniors from the senior building, say they're voting for her because her events are pretty and her food is good. So she knows what she's doing. And that's not a shot on the senior community at all. Sometimes you also have to consider she's catering to what she believes that they like.
Okay, so we see she's pandering to the senior vote.
Absolutely.
Can I just tap in real quick on
tap in
on the bingo thing? I just want to make it clear that bingo was happening well before Tiffany got there.
For sure. But you weren't giving away TVs.
Well,
I mean, not to that scale though, right?
Well, no, we had, 200, 300 people. Yeah, it was a big.
Not the people. I mean the prizes.
TVs and machines and drives.
No, absolutely not. We
She said absolutely not, friend. Absolutely not.
We spent money elsewhere.
Exactly.
So okay, so now we've cleared up while she's doing it for the senior vote.
Mm-hmm.
Let's speculate. This is allegedly, so we're speculating on this platform. So you are getting all these cakes and from these businesses there. Let me scroll. So we got all these, y'all see all these cakes. There's I think that's happy birthday or something, cake. That's what Robert said. I think that's happy. See, I told you it's giving very much difficulty, friend. You very, very okay, difficulty right there. So we see all these cakes. So let's go on the other side to these businesses. So you give all of this business to the businesses, right? So what if I'm bringing all this business to your business and I need money? Then I can come to your business. I said this is allegedly. We're conjecturing here. Then I could come to your business and be like, I need this amount of money. And then I can say to you, well, I'll be bringing you this amount, of business every month.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going? Like, that's my thought.
Allegedly, that was being done. Like, allegedly, some businesses, she allegedly, let me say that, hey, I scratched your back. I need a campaign contribution.
Okay, the big shakedown, because that's how you hide the kickback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because you want to be a friend of Tiffany's.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's going to bring business to your business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did y'all catch that? I hope y'all caught that out there. I hope y'all caught that.
Talking about the chitterlings, yes, she really did that. I want to say, was it for Christmas, Stephanie?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was nasty.
I think it was. Did Stephanie deal with these businesses when she worked there?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. My eyes will not allow me to see what's on your screen. I'm sure one of them is Calumet Bakery. Just because
it is.
Yes, we've always done work with them.
Right. Now, I mean, because they're a great bakery. Let's not get it twisted.
Absolutely.
They're a great bakery.
Better in the area. And the guy that owns the place is amazingly nice. And he always went above and beyond because, he knew we were serving the people. If we were having a senior coffee thing and, they would make ones specifically for, seniors that aren't loaded on sugar, that still taste good. And then he also has amazing maple bacon donuts. So it just depends on what you're looking for, I suppose.
Right, but it's a great business.
Correct.
I said, we're just speculating. Just as allegedly, this is conjecture. Because we are seeing the same business names every time. It's never let me spread this out throughout the township. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you're a supervisor and you're thinking of your municipalities, I'm sure that there are great bakeries in Burnham. I'm sure that there are great bakeries in Dalton. I'm sure that there, you know what I'm saying? You're the supervisor. You should be spreading this.
Now, honestly, I don't know. But I'll say this. I don't think it's something there with the bake. What she's doing is you also got to think about, you got to read the room. She's giving seniors something that they don't usually get in the senior building.
She's giving them diabetes that they don't usually get at the senior building. It's very difficult, friend. It's very difficult.
Yep.
It's very, and no, I'm not necessarily going to the bakery. I'm just saying it's the same businesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same
No,
businesses. If you're the supervisor, right, you should be giving all of the businesses underneath your umbrella the same opportunity to deal with the township. If you're in fact trying to move the township forward, then that means that everybody gets a chance. Everybody has an opportunity to show their skill and possibly get business from the residents, right? Because somebody's going to say, I didn't even know that you were in Lansing or that you were in, Riverdale. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying that. We're just seeing the same businesses. Jimbo's Catering, Calumet Bakery, let me see what else, some other stuff. Allegedly, now I'm going to tell you, allegedly, on this list was a child, the stuff I be researching, and catching. Allegedly, let me clear my throat because I want to make sure he hear me. Keith Price Business, Hit Record Entertainment, was on this warrant list. Allegedly. That's what I heard. Was on this warrant list. But I can't neither confirm nor deny that. That is allegedly. It's a rumor. That somehow the Taste of Thornton Township, had their businesses out there. That's what I'm saying. Now, without having seen the warrant list, I can't confirm or deny because I can't look for the business name. But there are, as you can see, a whole bunch of entertainment companies on here. Was there a comedian? Was there a comedian at the Taste?
I believe there was in 23.
Child, why is there being billed one on here $1,200?
Oh, no. That was for the comedy show.
And what day was that?
It was like a week after or a week before or something like that, right?
Well, child, I can definitely tell you he won't funny. He want $1,200 worth of funny. I know that. You know what? Y'all ain't gonna do that but sit up here and laugh at me. I'm just saying. Okay, this is egregious.
Wait. I know you're not talking about righteous Keith Price with the
child. Okay. The deacon that be sitting on the side. The fake heavy D. Yes, sir. Gives me very much difficulty. Now he gives me a lot of difficulty. Because he gonna try to go through a loophole, and you know what burns me up every time him and Michael Smith get up there talking about you don't know the law. What? Did you know it when you stole that gas? Oh, okay. You giving very much difficulty, friend. You giving very much difficulty. That's why people be leaving the room when you talk, because you giving very much difficulty. Okay.
Listen, he was RoboCop.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And did Keith Price know it when he spent that 120 days in jail in 1999? Y'all giving very much difficulty over there. Very much. Very much so. You know what I'm saying? So these are alleged. I would love to see these warrant lists, but whenever you FOIA anything, it disappears. You know, largely due to the village attorney that's out there, allegedly. But I do have an exclusive coming about that. Y'all gonna want to tune in for that, because that's gonna be crazy. Okay, that's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be on this channel, something that I uncovered, and that's out in Tinley Park. So we about to do Unask That Seat Part 2. I hope you watching, Delgado. I hope you are, because I'm gonna go to Tinley Park and use my 6 minutes very well, and it will be for the residents. What do you say?
I said he's in Tinley Park too.
Girl, you wait till, yes, allegedly and illegally. Yeah, I said what I said. Allegedly and illegally. But we'll deal with that on a different live, but it's coming. So yeah, these things on this warrant list, and like I said, I would love to see that warrant list so that I could find that and look into that. But that's what I was told. Word on the curb, child. Word on the street. But you ain't heard it from me. Okay, child. Both of them gonna be absent. We're gonna have to write them into the minutes as absent. Or wait a minute, they stepped out at 6:30, because that what Darlene Evergrey always do. She always stepping out at 6:30. She get there at 6:15, and she stepping out at 6:30.
Like, she just get up and leave. Like, how does
okay that child with that bad wig? Now you done been in that seat for 4 years and you can get another wig. You know what, child. Okay, so you guys, these are the things that was on the warrant list. There are several spreadsheets out there. Shout out to Ty Wynn or Bobby Murr. He has a spreadsheet out there. Also, Paul Roberts did a spreadsheet on just the cakes, and that came out to $909 just for cakes. And how often is Big Bingo, Stephanie?
Once a month.
So you talking about $909 times 12.
Well, I mean, that's only for the cakes.
Right, and that's $10,908 in cakes for 12 months. If Big Bingo is once a month.
Yeah, and then
okay, that's crazy. That is crazy. That right there, that's yeah. She could have had that money go to this so-called transportation vehicle she wanted to buy.
I'm actually gonna guess it runs them about $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Yes. So the
For
case
bingo.
was yes. Okay, Paul said $909 was for cakes in 4 months. That's just 4 months.
In cakes.
She must have splurged, because there must have been people bringing their girlfriend, talking about, girl, come to Big Bingo. Okay, I feel like, because if my grandma was alive, that's what she would be telling her girlfriends. Girl, come to Big Bingo. We be winning TVs and stuff.
And to be fair, not all of those cakes may be just for Big Bingo. I mean, they do. There's a special service department. They do events for people with disabilities, and when they have those events, they'll get cake and stuff for like prom, and sometimes for bowling for somebody's birthday. So to be fair, there may be other things outside of bingo that those cakes were for.
Okay, let's go to something else that Carmen asked, and this was my man. Hold on, let me see, can I find it? Because baby, when she dropped this bomb, I heard that song. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. You dropped the bomb. When she dropped this bomb and asked this question, I said, my God, you done woke up the beast. I don't know who did it, but now, Tiffany, you're going to have very much difficulty, because when Carmen asked, who's in this outreach department? Who's the department head?
That's a great question. Inquiring minds want to
Child.
know.
Baby, when that song came right in my head, you dropped the bomb on me. And that's how she looked. She looked like, girl, I'm finna show up at your house.
Full transparency, I didn't get a chance to really watch the board meeting, but did Tiffany say it was the Hamburglar that was running the outreach department?
Hold on,
or no?
I'm getting ready to find it. But Stephanie, can you tell us in the past who or what
that was
is in
not
this department?
It was not a department.
Oh. I'm so glad my face not on the camera right now.
Yeah,
I know mine, and I am not mature. I'm not.
It is a Tiffany. It is a Tiffany program. She calls it outreach. I call it electioneering.
Okay.
Allegedly, I call it theft. I mean, that's just allegedly what I call it.
Yes, allegedly. I would see it as that. We had a community relations department. That was the department that planned our events and along with special projects and things along those lines. So
let me see if I can find this.
In that department, we did have people that would make like well-being checks or make phone calls for birthdays. So the call center that she talks about, you know, we had played around with that for a couple of years. But it takes a lot to staff something like that.
Go ahead,
Talk
Dr.
about
Nikita. I'm still looking for that.
Stephanie.
Huh?
Okay, yeah. Talk about that. Talk about that call center, Stephanie. Can we talk about the call center?
The call center that she has?
Yeah, you know, the campaign center. I'm sorry, the call center. That's what she's calling, right?
Yes. I would say
Yeah,
there's probably between maybe 10 and 15 employees in that department. She has them walking the neighborhood. She says they knock on every door. However, I'm not 100% sure about that. And then to top it off, when you look at some of those bills lists, you see on there a nation builder. Nation builder is similar to like a vote building program. So it will give you.
So explain what a vote building program is, Stephanie.
Well, a vote builder would tell you how people voted in the last election, who voted, whether they voted Democrat or Republican. You can't see what candidate they chose. You just see if they voted Democrat, Republican, and how many of the last, like I could go in that system and pull up, say, the last 8 elections and see who consistently voted, so that when an organization goes out canvassing in a neighborhood, or they make, phone calls to people, or, during election season, they have a concentrated base of people who consistently vote that, they go reach out to. So they're seemingly what it would look like from the outside, based on the info that I have, it would look like the township was utilizing Nation Builder for a similar platform, allegedly.
Oh, okay. I think I found it. Good gracious. She this lady done said a whole bunch of mess. Anyway, she don't really be saying nothing to me, so I hope y'all can see. Okay, y'all can.
See phone numbers and email addresses on there, Stephanie?
What's that?
On the Nation Vote Builder, campaign app that she used, for the township, of course. Can you see names, emails, and phone numbers on there as well?
For some.
This is amazing. You stealing people's information.
We created a call center. We created scholarship programs. We put kids back to work in the 17 municipalities. Y'all know that, huh? News didn't cover that either. So if you had someone that lived in Dixmoor, Markham, any of the 17 cities, I'm just naming a few, basically they did a work program and the township paid them. So when this board, which is so small when it comes to vision, they don't think about the what if. So I'll give you an example of what I mean by it. Grass cutting. I remember when we talked about the grass cutting, and everybody was talking about,
First of all, why is she talking about the grass cutting when there is a person that's over the youth prevention? Shouldn't they be talking about the grass cutting?
Well, that's what I was just going to comment on. Her whole little comment she just made about putting the youth back to work and the township paid. No, the
I
township
thought they were
did.
drug addicts.
Well, no, but the township did not pay. The township didn't pay those kids. That was that youth violence prevention grant that she hired Kamal through. That grant paid for those kids to
No.
work
What I'm
in that
saying
community.
is exactly. But remember, she said she needed that new lawnmower company. Remember during the board meeting, I think she had Stan Brown to say the kids couldn't pass a drug test.
Correct. Yeah. But I'm talking about, not about ZAP. I'm talking about the youth jobs that she said. She wasn't specifically, she was saying that she gave them jobs in Dixmoor
Oh
and
yeah,
Markham.
the youth.
Right. Those jobs were through that grant. So that was state money that paid for those kids to do that, not township money.
That is correct.
What's
a municipality?
Child, it was so many words that threw me off. I said, at one point, I had to mute it because I got a headache just trying to decipher these words. I don't know. Y'all need a sign language interpreter or something.
No. Listen, if you really want a good laugh, turn on the board meeting when Tiffany is talking, turn down the volume and put on closed caption. Y'all welcome.
Oh my God, no, I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be crying. Because the closed caption thing can't even because I have my YouTube on closed caption and it can't even capture most of the words her or Robert be saying. I said, I know the closed caption is like, friend, this is giving very much difficulty. This is very much difficulty, friend. Stop talking, friend, because this is very much difficulty.
I want to say it was me and Sherry did it one time. It was hilarious. Oh my God.
But Nikita, she said my name right this time.
Oh,
okay, we're gonna go to this lady because I can't find Carmen asking it, but this lady, she asked too.
Also, an outreach department. Why can't you tell your trustees who's over the outreach department? If you're about transparency, what are you hiding?
Look at you, Stephanie.
If you have an department and the money is spent for that department, who's heading it?
Oh.
Transparency for one item and not for another is not transparency.
Okay, so y'all, in this same meeting, she states that Frank Zucarelli was doing all this ghost payrolling. Here go a whole department. You know what? Okay, allegedly, let me listen. We watching the video. I'm just telling you. Okay. Did you hear what I just said? Somebody, the trustee asked who was over this department, who in the department. We got invoices coming from the outreach. Well, who in the outreach? Where did this invoice come from? So you was talking about Frank Zucarelli earlier saying, I came in and fixed everything. He said he had this ghost payroll, but y'all ain't know that though. Y'all ain't reporting on that though. And you got a whole department of people getting paid that nobody ever seen. I'm just asking. Y'all just seen it in the video, right?
You're not wrong.
Outreach.
Somebody need to look into that department. The next time y'all make y'all public comment, that's the only thing y'all need to be asking about. Is two things y'all need to be asking about. Where's Kamal's report for his department? And why is he getting to pay if his department not doing nothing? And who in his outreach department, but yet the outreach department is sending invoices and stuff to the warrant list? Child, somebody come get me off the floor.
$100,000 a year, right? That's $100,000 a year.
Yeah, y'all, somebody come get me off this floor, because this is very much difficulty. This is very much difficulty tonight.
It's giving
okay, this is giving. I'm gonna be in another deposition crying. This is giving that. Okay. But the next time I be in a deposition, they're gonna bring me from the back, and I ain't coming from the front. I'm coming from the back. They're gonna be like, bring out inmate, whatever her number gonna be. This is very much difficulty, friend. Oh my God. I'm just saying it is.
It's given inmate 2160.
Okay, child. It's giving orange hair and orange jumpsuit is the new black. That's what it's giving. You know, oof. Child, it's
Someone
giving.
asked, did Michael Smith pass a background check to be the Dalton admin? Huh?
No.
Oh.
She never gave him one. She's not giving background checks. Do y'all not remember that? Dr. Nikita was so gracious of giving her TED talk to let you all know that background checks have been suspended.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? It's selective. Because I had a background check. I had a drug test. But then I find out later others did not. It's giving weird.
Okay, it's giving Target. Ain't that what she said? When the board of the Dalton trustees put those people out on leave. She said, I don't understand this. This is not right. These people have families to feed. This is giving very much targeted.
She said that.
She did.
She didn't feel that way when she was firing all those people at the township.
Okay. 67 of them.
Those
gone.
people had families to feed too.
Okay, gone.
Girl. Yep, the girl on FMLA. Gone.
Gone.
The girl that was 7 months pregnant.
Gone.
Yeah.
Child, and then for you to get up there to say that and say they're targeting me, they're targeting me, and for your child, it's just so much. This has been so crazy to watch. I can understand why some people are confusion because nothing is happening yet. Not to say that there's not things happening behind the scenes. There's just nothing happening. There's other mayors that have been arrested for less. And you're still seeing this go on. So, you know, that I can understand that. I can understand why people are frustrated.
Yeah, it's frustrating. And it's, you know, it makes you question why, or it makes you question our leadership. It make us question, you know, whether or not a person want to get out and vote. I mean, you got to think about it. This community came out and vote only to have their vote taken away. Like, who does that?
Right, because it will make you feel like my vote don't count. You know, you're a recall mayor. You're actually a voted recall mayor. And we did the right thing as residents. We did what we were supposed to do. We followed the process.
Yep.
But when it got down to it, it was taken away from us, even though we did it correctly.
Yep.
So the last thing that I want to talk about, y'all gonna get a kick out of this. The last thing two things. See this man that's on the screen? Y'all see the man here that was on the screen? This is the man that was talking about we need to pray. And Lord, see, okay, first of all, let me just preface this with my mother is a bishop, so don't y'all get in these comments and start acting goofy. Okay? Don't get in these comments and start acting goofy about I'm going against the church folks. No, I'm not. I just don't understand where prayer comes in to a situation where someone is breaking one of the 10 commandments or 2 or 3 of the 10 commandments. I mean, you with somebody else, whole husband. But I digress, child. Let me back up. Let me go back.
Husband, not even a legend.
Okay, so I'm just confused as to how prayer is going to happen. I know that prayer is needed. Don't you get me? Don't y'all get in these comments and start acting goofy. I'm telling you, because that block game is strong. Don't try me. So I'm just confused as to where faith without works is dead. Frank, don't start your mess. Do not start your mess. Don't start. I thought you supposed to be at work anyway.
But I want to know who came up with the name Leotis, because that was gold.
I don't know who did that. That was somebody in Dalton politics that said that. There's somebody in Dr. Politics that said it, and I want to go back and find who said it because it was, but
it was probably Jim.
It could have been. I don't know.
Oh,
but this pastor, I commend him, for saying that we should pray because we should, we should. But in this situation, I'm not sure that there's something that we should be doing. We should be doing exactly what we're doing is exposing her. Okay, let's go to the last thing, and then we're gonna let these people get up out of here. We're gonna let service out, as the pastor say, this is my last thing. And sometimes when he say that, it don't be his last thing. Okay, this is really why I asked. This is why I asked Stephanie to be on. So we're gonna play this, we're gonna handle this business, and we're gonna be out of here.
He's probably gonna die within the next 3 or 4 minutes. So thank you guys for coming out.
The critical smoker giving us his disclaimer.
Because we all been made slaves for the decisions of his board. In 2011, Thornton Township had 42% of its assets in cash assets. That was $14.6 million. 42% of the township assets. When Frank Zucarelli died, how much of that was left? Who keeps accounting of it? Who is in charge of it? How often do you keep accounting of it? Can anybody on the board answer that outside of Tiffany Hager, because you guys were here before her? Who was here in 2011? Why is it so quiet? We don't do questions in Thornton Township, Supervisor Hager? Chris Gonzalez, the $14.6 million headed, that was in cash assets for Thornton Township, how much is left? Ms. Everett, how much is left? Here, how much is left? Carmen, did they tell you how much is left? Stephanie, do you know how much is left of the $14.6 million that was held in cash assets? I know that $2.2 million was spent on a garage or a township vehicle in 2012. How much is left? That was 42% of the township assets held in cash. Who is in charge of that money? When Frank was alive, who else besides him was in charge? And when he died, who was in charge when he died? I know one thing, I'm gonna FOIA till I find out. And if they got to dig Frank up and shake his pockets, we're gonna find where that money went. Make no mistake about it. So you don't gotta answer me, but as I say, you'll answer that again. Tiffany, you got an answer?
Y'all sure do, Stephanie.
If you're not making
All right.
$158,000 per year,
Stephanie. All right, hit it, Stephanie. Let us know.
Stephanie, hold on. She said you.
Dr. Nikita, that's why I asked her to come on.
So it was quite the cliffhanger for sure.
Definitely.
So what she said was that I was in charge. What she implied was that I took money. Yeah, it's hard to even entertain it. I hadn't worked in finance since 2011. When Trina asked me the question, if I had an honest answer for her, I would have given it to her. I definitely, could answer more specific questions if she wanted to ask about like the garage that was bought in South Holland in 2012. That happened. We did purchase a garage for the vehicles. So, but I can't say what was left. It wasn't my job. Could I have an idea? I could probably guess, but who knows if that would be accurate. That's why I told her to ask the finance director. That was my suggestion to her. Why don't you ask the finance director? And she said, who is that? And I said, Robert Hunt. And she definitely turned around and asked Robert Hunt. He walked up to the podium and Tiffany would not let him speak. She told him to talk to Trina, like on the side, so she could adjourn the meeting.
Wow.
So, Frank.
Wait a minute. First, before you get to that, let me just say this. Let me just say this. Trina Downs, please do not give me no 48-hour notice on your channel. Please do not get on your platform and start talking about all in the queue. You got 48 hours to answer me. Okay? Fuck you talking about. Okay? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay? But what I want the residents and people to notice is, or this is what I want to say, residents, please do not allow Tiffany to weaponize you against the other residents. Because Trina Downs has consistently been coming to that podium with her own agenda. What I realized last night was she was not on her own agenda. She's been coming to that platform with papers, her own papers in her hand, asking her own. I mean, she used to scream at Tiffany and say, a black woman. That's what you gonna tell me? I'm a black woman. And yet, last night, she didn't have any papers. She actually didn't even have any smoke for Tiffany. So please, please don't allow this administration to weaponize you against the residents. Okay, go.
So I was going to say that, I mean, I had no issues with Trina addressing me. I actually encourage the questions. You know, I'm not a very public person, but when people ask me questions, I share what I have. I share my knowledge. I share my experience. It's no good if I'm leaving and I take all of it with
Trina
me.
just popped into my... I know it. Look at this, y'all. Hey, Trina.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. I already told her don't be giving me no 48-hour notice. Go ahead.
So what I was gonna say is I appreciate the questions and the opinions and I think that, you know, she's just the kind of person that will hold everybody accountable and not just Tiffany. I do think that, you know, she's fair across the board. So
yeah, I mean, listen. I have loved Trina Downs ever since she's been outside of that Dalton meeting saying super liar, super liar. That was my soundbite. Okay, so I've loved and respected her ever since that day, and she is super hilarious. She is super funny. I actually watched some of her videos. One video she did, she had on sunglasses and she had pimp cup, and boy, that took me out. So Trina, thank you for gracing my chat, but don't get on your platform and give me 48-hour notice. I'm asking you to continue to have your own agenda when you go to the meetings, because you have brought out some questions, you know, some real serious questions. On a serious note, you have brought out some real serious questions that need to be answered by the administration there. And I feel like you should continue to do that and don't get distracted by, you know, a lot of the other things. You know, continue to focus on what you're focusing on, and that is the administration and what's being done and the questions that you have about this current administration, not about an administration that doesn't exist any longer, but about this current one. So thank you, Trina. Listen, I've been calling people's names tonight and they've been appearing in my chat. Why? That's scary. Okay, thank y'all. This is giving me very much difficulty, but thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you guys more. So if you feel like you want to push this channel forward and help me, then the Cash App is scrolling on the bottom. If you don't, it's fine. I'm still going to do it. It's fine. What up, Ohio? What up, though? Let me see. What she say? What do y'all be talking about? What do you mean that is the current administration? No, Trina, we're talking about when you asked the question from 2000. Did you say that was 2002 or 2011 or somewhere around in there?
Yeah, I think she said maybe 11 or 12.
Right. And Tiffany wasn't there at that point, at that time. So, you know, I think that you are most effective when you are asking this current administration questions because they hit and they hit home. So, you know, we don't know about the, you know, previous administration. That person is not here to answer, you know, and as we all know, Frank was accountable himself for those things. So, you know, but Stephanie said they did build a garage and, you know, I don't know. But what I want to say is I'm going to be bringing more things to this platform. I told you all I have an exclusive dropping on Delgado. I hope you all tune in because Delgado is now in Tinley Park. Not allegedly, they are in Tinley Park, but allegedly he's there illegally. But I have receipts. Oh, do I have receipts? And I'm also going to tell you what they did to me when I tried to FOI the receipts. This is going to get interesting. Very, very interesting. And a lot of the things that I'm going to say with this next live that I'll be doing with the former trustee of Tinley Park, hopefully, is that they sound very similar to the things that started happening in Dalton once Delgado came there. Mysteriously, FOIs were not being answered. Mysteriously, people were being locked out of the website trying to get their FOIs. So, you know, is the township attorney from the Delgado group? Yes, Eric Stotch, I think his name is, something like that. So yeah, Eric Stotch. I don't know if that's how you say his last name, but he's of the Delgado group, the ghost lawyer that sits up there, so stoic until they hit his on button and he's able to speak. So yeah,
that's the one that's in Tinley Park.
No, he actually, guess who's in Tinley Park?
Who?
Tiffany.
Oh.
Because you know she got spooked in Township. She was crying and left. Ain't gonna be no different when I go over here and do this public comment over there. Ain't gonna be no different. Okay, because I'm finna go over there. Look, First Lady, you ain't got to worry because I'm not. I'm getting ready to get out of here. She said, "Great live. Please don't call nobody else's name. You ain't got to worry because I'm not." Because these people are showing up like Candyman. When you say his name 3 times, I'm not finna do it. But I thank you all for showing up today. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Dr. Nikita. Thank you all who tuned in. 150 of you all at what time is it? 11:21. I appreciate it so much. Thank you all for your support. And listen, we finna get this thing popping over here. We finna keep on uncovering things. And to all you people looking with your looking asses, keep on looking. We finna help the residents over here. We have a FOI class coming from John Kraft. So I hope you guys tune in for that as well. All right. So we're going to be getting some education over here and we're going to be getting some tea. So you don't know which one going to happen. So listen, just show up. That's all you got to do is show up. All right. Thank you guys. We are about to get out of here as soon as this name going to say her name. Just going to play her video. Y'all have a nice night.
Subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button.
It's down to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue. It's hella to you. much to show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's all up to you. All in the queue, it's